This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
What's up, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. My name is Lily, and always reminding you to get a copy of this book, Healing Your Inner Self to Commence Your Best Life Now. It's really a good book. Even the vibes of the book, the hope that just the cover gives you. You need to get this book into your life if you haven't already, and other Benjamin Zulu books. On that note, on the previous episode, we were talking about how to heal after betrayal. And then now there's the flip side of you've been dating or married to someone for a long time, or at least for an intense period of time. And then when you finally part ways, they move on almost immediately. What is that?
It feels like an insult. Wasn't I anything to you?
Yeah.
How do you just shake off like that?
Yeah.
You know? And does it mean you are already looking outside?
That's what it looks like.
When we are in,
Yeah.
where did that person appear
Yeah.
from? So we tend to retrospect. Was this person cheating when you were in? Were they looking? Were they even ever faithful? How come?
Yeah. You really doubt your reality. Yeah.
And the truth is, you are still looking backwards to see how they are behaving. The other one is facing the wrong direction.
Oh.
So
Okay.
even if they are splashing it in your face, it should not be affecting you that much.
Should it not?
No. We talked in that knowing that the person has another person hurts you when you have not given up hope. When you have already actually laid to rest the dream of two of you, you have already buried it, doesn't affect you anymore. It's because you still had hope and you are looking to see whether they will regret, whether they will suffer. And you mentioned about hope of revenge, that they will suffer to fail it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So why they move on quickly, number one, is because they cried all the tears while they were with you. Okay. So today we want to return the compass. Sometimes you are the offender.
Okay.
I don't want to keep on massaging us, that we're always the one being offended.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, first of all, not me. Maybe someone else.
Honestly, sometimes introspection can save your life.
Okay, that's true.
Introspection can save your life.
True.
Now, sometimes they move on quickly because they cried so much while they were with you. Be careful when you see your partner crying because of things you're doing for them.
Gosh.
Maybe they are draining. Those tears were coming from a place where it was tears and love. Okay? So the more they are going...
No, they're oversensitive. This is hard. Please, somebody.
Careful with those tears. Maybe you're draining how much they cared. All right? So tears and tears are spelled the same for some weird reason. But I just want you to be careful that you could be now tearing away. Just like they're tearing for you, could be tearing away. Sometimes those tears are really emotions and feelings, and they are bleeding. If you continue not hearing them, this is a warning. The first point of why people move on quickly is to teach you a lesson that they really didn't move away. What you're calling on moving on quickly is just a culmination of a process that had started when they were with you, when they were pleading for you to change, to create more time, to be more listener, just be empathetic, just show up, just prioritize family. People marry, pack each other someplace, and they go on with their life. They see they're not married. They spend all their free time drinking, spend all their time partying, spend all their time in football, spend all that. It's okay to have entertainment, but is your family priority? Is it priority? Or they're coming after everything after you're done, and you're coming home at 2 hours of dawn, or you're coming, the men who go home and there's no food. Men who go home and the woman is just arriving just as late as him, and he's eating improvised meals, a loaf of bread and
noodles. Just dip them in hot water.
Nobody's attending to his needs. And so some people marry just for that, for the name of being, for the benefit of being married, but they do not prioritize the marriage, and they keep pleading, would you please make more time? I think we should. And they keep grieving. Sometimes men don't shed the real tears. You see the sadness. Sometimes the tears is not in the eyes, it's on the face. You see the agony of the man. You see him how he's struggling to manage this situation, how he's remaining awake, how he's in bed but fully awake, unable to rest, unable to relax, you know. People go to bed, not everybody sleeps. Sometimes sleep requires a certain peace, and he does not have the peace, you know. And there are women who are so skilled in making home inhospitable. The Bible said is when she's contentious. So just contentious, making you feel like you're living at the corner of a roof, suspended somewhere. Though not just women, just one, because men are more known to be violent with their actions. Women are violent with their words.
Yeah.
Most often, most of the cases. So when you keep your partner begging and you start gaslighting them that they're pestering you, that they're nagging, and it's because they care, that keep asking. And it's not, we're not justifying being dramatic and always trying to quarrel. We're talking about when you know a person cares about something that you keep doing, that you keep apologizing, or you even gaslight, or even deny it, and you go around and do it, and you think you're getting away with it because you both have your marriage and you both have your little life here. You have your marriage there and you're enjoying yourself over here, and you keep lying, connected with the lie here and the other one, and you cannot lie perfectly forever. Something pops, they know, they get to learn about it, and now you have learned how to hide, cover more, and you can have a run of that for a while. But at some point, they realize they're the only ones who are trying to make this work. And so they start exiting. They start crying. They start processing it. They start, accepting that this sometimes when people are going for therapy, they're not going for therapy to repair. They are going for therapy to move on.
Yeah.
When they're still there. Because sometimes relocating, parting physically has logistics.
Yes.
So people may be working on the emotional side.
Yeah.
Before the logistics. All right. So this person has moved on quickly because they had already processed the pain of losing you when you continued ignoring them. When you continued, it says that sometimes the good person cares too soon, the bad person cares too late. When you're misbehaving, you think I will not leave.
Yeah.
You take your while and you think, because I'm always forgiving. So good people, because they really want it to work, they are forgiving, they're understanding. They even make excuses for you. They explain it to other people why you could not show up, although they make up a reason that is plausible. And hoping.
Yeah.
People who invest fully, they hurt deeply. Because they are investing deeply, they hurt deeply. So they cannot hurt forever. Let's repeat this. Sincere people cannot stay in the same place forever because it is very painful.
Yeah. That's true.
Off air, you are telling me about a lady who is in a polygamous setting, and she's proud of it apparently, going to radios or place, start talking about it.
Yes. We had a heated debate.
Telling me, asking me what we make of that.
Yeah.
That she has accepted, and it's working for them. And I was telling you, what you accept in life shows your self-concept and what you think you deserve. By the time you accept to be given half of a man, do you think of yourself as a full woman? By going mathematically, even without psychology. By the time you combine the two of you to match one, you are half of you. And I was telling you, there is no true love when there is no exclusivity. You my queen, you my king. It doesn't work like that. Song of Songs.
Wait, there's no true love when there is no exclusivity.
No, true love is possessive and territorial.
So a man can't love two women?
No. He can desire, he can lust, but love protects, secures. I can't expose you to another competitor when I love you. It's not possible.
He can't do that for two
No.
women?
What they're defining as love that time is material provision. So women are just materialistic and lazy, and they just want to be carried and given things. They just want to eat a man's money. Women love man's money. They can be allowed to be woman number 7 as long as he can get his money.
Wait.
It's greed, it's selfishness, it's superficiality, materialism, nothing else. Some of these women have another life you're not aware about. The man thinks he's winning, the woman knows. Especially if they team up, you're dying soon.
Don't tell them.
You think you're winning because they teamed up. My friend, 2 against 1. My friend, you don't know what you're talking about. Today's modern woman cannot accept polygamy except when she knows something you don't.
Okay.
She knows something you don't.
Amy, I tried thinking of considering the idea, and I think even if I knew something he doesn't, I still wouldn't stay.
Yes.
I can't imagine.
A real woman cannot have you when he knows the same way another woman is having you. That doesn't work like that. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Please, let's stop all this noise.
Benjamin has said we stop the noise.
It's
I
just too
agree.
much noise. Even if you move around here campaigning for whatever, and if he cannot be faithful to one woman, he needed a second. What would make him not to go for that, fourth until 20th? Just joining a sexual network in the day of STIs, the day of HIVs.
Yeah.
You don't even value your life.
Okay.
You have no self-esteem. You have no self-respect. You cannot continue on life. You're just greedy for a man's money. You just have a crushed low self-esteem. You just feel like you deserve nothing. That's why you're joining a messed up network, and you start campaigning about it to give it some legitimacy. You can't fool us. You can't fool everybody. You can fool some, but not all of us. Anyway.
I like the way you are not trying to be politically correct.
No, there's nothing there. This is just a womanizer who has just gotten some legitimacy packed together. You can't pray. You don't even know where you stand before God. You don't have intuition. You can't even guide your daughter. What if your daughter ends up in this kind of... You see your children and feel your conscience convicting you. Nicky Quach and Icy Steven played a game where they say, you run home with your girlfriend. Unfortunately, your neighbor is a church, and the pastor is preaching about fornication. They are hammering the sermon. You are convicted. You run away. When you're in polygamous setting, you're always convicted. When you see the daughter, when you see the son, you're leading a life you can't recommend for them. Anyway.
Okay, but well, in terms of mindset, maybe that's just a different mindset for them, and that's why it works for them.
I'm talking about human psychology, not mindset.
Really?
Yes. Every place polygamy was recorded in the Bible, it accompanied strife, conflict, death. Today, ask children of polygamous families. The children. Not these who are pretending it works for us. Ask the children. No child recommends polygamy.
What about the ones for whom, like, the women are friends and they're helping each other? The children will still suffer? How?
Emotional absenteeism. You cannot be available for so many people in those kind of settings to guide the children. They know you have to be in the other home, you have to be in this home. They settle for scanty, and they live life knowing they don't deserve. They're not that visible. Many times men would love the children rather than the women those days. And the women had been reduced to think they were just generators of children.
Oh, yeah.
So a woman who is awakened cannot. It just doesn't work. So the era when women had been subdued to be made a group or whatever, and it's back then. But when you come back to yourself, you realize you are rather better off alone. You can't be working this hard to earn your own money, then you still accept to be married second wife because of somebody's money. You have a small quiet life somewhere. Yeah. You don't have somebody sending thieves to kill you because they see you as a competitor.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We took a nice long detour. So we're talking about why your spouse moves on.
And we are saying it's because they had already moved on. You know them so long, they plan their life. We are saying if you try to bring another woman, try to make yourself polygamous, or you try to, this person may stay for a while preparing to leave, because leaving sometimes is logistical, requires planning. The second reason why people move on quickly is to recover the time you wasted for them. Sometimes you can't waste another 2 years healing when there's nothing to heal from. It was all a mirage. And you already wasted 5 years with this person.
Yeah.
We expedite healing, and we're not justifying rushing or rebound. Sometimes you know very well you had already processed your healing. You'd already done, there's no even grief. Sometimes you're confused when you hear a person, the wife died and the wife was a tormentor. You don't know whether to say sorry for your loss or congratulations for your freedom.
Yeah.
So this thing died to everybody's happiness, you know.
Yeah. Like,
there's some kings in the Bible died to nobody's grief.
yeah.
I mean, some things die to nobody's grief. So people move on quickly when they reckon how much of their time went down the drain trying to live with a treacherous person who kept betraying the man. Let me also remind you that the polygamous setting we're talking about, people introduce the other wife later. If they told you they're marrying you and they'll marry a second, nobody would have agreed. You have to get a broken woman who is very stranded, who needs rescue.
Yeah.
To market marriage is a rescue.
Yes.
On their own terms.
Yeah.
A woman who is on her own feet will not listen to that nonsense. You wonder, What do you see in me that looks like?
I'm trying to imagine somebody telling me about being a polygamous second wife.
Exactly. You know, people make too much noise to justify their madness. Instead of healing, they just try to justify their brokenness.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Those who can see, can see. And I told you, you can fool some people for some time. You can't fool all people all the time. No. Some of us have eyes.
Yeah, some of us have eyes.
You know? And even if you don't worry about other things, Lily, think about the HIV and the prevalence of STIs
Right.
today.
Yeah.
Please.
Hepatitis is underrated.
Don't join place where you know you brought herpes. You brought syphilis. You brought things because of plugging into sexual network. If a man can't be faithful to one woman, he cannot be faithful to two. He cannot be faithful to three. He cannot resist. He just lacks sexual discipline. Simple.
Right.
They usually actually marry that way to play between the two of you, so they're not faithful to any of them.
Yeah.
And the justification is they can maintain. Many times they don't even have that much money anyway. Or they don't always have the money.
Yeah.
They have money for a season.
Yeah.
And because of that distraction, when you have two women calling you, the way you maintain your relationship, can you maintain two? Just think about the way you maintain your
I
relationship.
know, it's so much work.
Now, two like that?
I'm sure one of the reasons why those two women would team up is so that they can also team up financially.
Because nobody's talking to them. Because when you have to talk to your partner, we call it 1 times 3 times like a painkiller. When you have to talk in a painkiller fashion, and now your two of them is 2 times 3.
Yeah.
You have a life to live.
Yeah.
And you have a kid then, another, and logistics and a home to build and family. The tussle and the push and pull between the wealth. About the wealth, about the future, about the influence, about who talked to who. Even the wives of Jacob, even though they were sisters, still fighting about, because now he brought you this, so you sleep with you now. It becomes about competition now. It becomes, so you got another child, let me also get a child, even children become competition, you know. Polygamy is recorded in the Bible, it's not recommended, just recorded, like a fact of history. But in every place it's recorded, it is together with strife. The second reason people move on quickly, they wasted a lot of time with you, and they want to recover lost time. The third reason is to exercise your influence from their life. You see, if they remain where you left them, you remain the background story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, this is reverse psychology or counterintuitive. But sometimes, honestly, we excel just to answer our critics.
Yes.
Honestly, okay, we are not petty or vain.
But we are. We're not, but we are.
There's a sense in which
Yeah.
we just have to pass a statement.
Okay.
Just sometimes you drive around, normally you wouldn't be lowering your windows, but when you're in certain neighborhoods,
Yeah.
when people told everyone, Lily will never amount to anything. You record a TikTok from the far, they said, the one who said will not go far. Where is he? Where are we now?
Yeah, where are we now?
The teacher of math who
Math
said,
teacher.
I will not go anywhere. Where am I now?
Yeah.
That is not pride exactly. It's restoration of your self-esteem. It's a confirmation of a win. You are registering checkmate. We said you don't announce your moves. You only talk to say checkmate. Done. You know, you sometimes people move on quickly because how much you painted them to be. How you said you are the God over their life. How you said they'll never be happy with anyone. This is not rebound. This is anything. This is anything we said actually. Dating and marriage should come as part of a full packaged life. You know you're moving on. You're not rebounding when the rest of your life is also moving on. It's not the only relationship. It's not the relationship only. That is progress.
Yeah, okay.
You've created another culture, another life. You found a place where you can live. You found your job that is enjoying. Your networks. Your life is vibrant.
Okay.
That way your mind is always the one creating your life. I can tell how you're thinking by seeing your totality of your life. You can tell. That's how usually. Actually, when we try to deconstruct a serial killer to track them down, they look at what they have done in their life, and they even get people to try figure out what could that person. So they describe how the person moves, what they usually do. You can deconstruct a person's mindset by the things they're doing in their life, what they're trying to put up, the investments they're doing, where they're taking their money, the clothes they're wearing, how they're talking, how they're behaving, how they're treating people. So if your whole life is vibrant and you are now energetically moving forward. You are healing, you are studying, you are joyful, you are when you work with midlife transition, when people have lived a painful half-life, and they're trying to start a happy second half-life, and they're coming, we're doing that transitional life coaching. We usually start by processing the pain, then we come to now planning for pleasure. All right. You are closed because it was very painful. You are when you lift a whip to hit a cow, it stiffens. So you had been stiffening because of whips every time. When you're done with also whip you do job 3. There the prisoners sit together. They don't hear the shouts of the oppressor. You go where you don't hear the shouts of the oppressor. When you don't hear the shouts of the oppressor, you can see sunshine now.
You can relax.
Now. And we tell you actually to take in pleasure, to take in life, to take in sunshine. To actually, we send people on practicals by the water, in the woods, walk in the woods, to gaze at the stars.
Why are you laughing?
Well, it doesn't sound serious, but it's very serious.
Oh, it's very serious.
Actually, to do fireside. Do you know fireside is very therapeutic? To just have fire, and at night, just outside there with a friend, and just story. That story by fireside, culturally, especially in Africa, it's very deeply meaningful. Chinua Achebe, right when countrymen sit together and by the fireside. Not that they could not have fire in their home. They do it because it's good for countrymen to do that. It's when we share meals with our neighbors, not that we don't have food at home. It's because it's good for friends to do that. So when you teach people to connect to the life, we tell them actually to create friendships. We start with friendships of the same gender so that your feelings don't play you because they're still healing. Get back with girls or boys if you're a boy, a guy whom you used to enjoy riding, used to enjoy, hunting, used to enjoy whatever you used to enjoy. Right now it may be a different place of life, and it may be a different thing. Your interest now may be in farming, maybe in whatever it is now. Go there, and we say when you're starting it's not exciting, so you push yourself. Actually you schedule every weekend. You stop working extra time. You say second half of life, don't be working overtime for other people. You should be pulling towards your own life. In fact, part of the financial planning we said is for half of your life you should be investing most of your waking hours in an enterprise of your own, the enterprise that will stay. All right, for half of your life you should work half of your life while you are partnering with people. The other half of your life, all the knowledge and the skill you gained, build an enterprise that stays within the long run. That's how you both create employment and security for your own children, for your own family, for your own insiders. That's how you also win you reclaim your final freedom. You can be a consultant out there, but your main focus should be to build something that is yours. You can be a part-timer someplace, but your main focus, the 8 hours, the waking hours should be. Sometimes you don't succeed because you're skilled. It's because you invested enough man hours. It's not even because you are talented. You are just focused. You kept putting in 10 hours every day to a normal shop in the market. Why are the shops some succeeding, others withering? The man hours. Sometimes just pure man hours. This is not even how much capital this one started with. This lady was so reliable. This guy was always there early in the morning. He has already baked. He has already done what is done. People know he's there. So the small shop sold. He's always there. When it's raining, when it's night, this guy is the man hour, the consistency. He bloomed for putting 1,000 man hours. In the year, another person put only 150. So the second half of your life, the man hours should be going to something that will shelter you when the rain starts falling. So the last reason people are doing this is so that you don't become the last story, the last say in their life, the final word in their life. Remember, when you sit and collapse, where you are, those who hurt you, dropped you, what are you doing?
Surrendering?
You are making them the final say. You are surrendering to the influence. Sometimes we move away to another place so that we can control our own narrative. Your life is a story. And you should make sure you're always the editor. You should make sure the editor of the story. Introduce a plot twist. People are used to that. You are that weekend guy who is just a supporter in the character of the wife, doing her theatrics. Because good men are made silent supporters. The drama of the theatric wife. And he's there he's only a footnote. Few people know him. Many men perish in the footnote. They are overshadowed. and they retreat to the backdrop. They take comfort in alcohol. And when you see them beat on this wife to that, you can't even believe it. The person looks less than the driver. Less than. They're overshadowed, and then they let the person carry the narrative. But I always tell them, brothers, I tell you, brother, what story do you want to... What is your story? What is your life story? Because many times they married when they were unconscious. They did not factor. They did not factor the issues like team player, energy levels. Sometimes these people's energy is so antagonistic to marriage. By the time they're marrying, they still have a lot of social pressure to prove they are woman enough. They have a lot of social peer pressure to prove they can also get married. So they're marrying you to prove other things. Yeah. They're not really ready to invest. The position of being wife requires mental preparation. Many people don't want it, can't stand it. They're too arrogant. They're too competitive, too masculine. Many of them have been abused and broken. They can't even rest in the femininity. Femininity is very nurturing and at rest. If you're not at peace, you can't be feminine. If you're always anxious and mistrusting and paranoid and inspecting, policing, running after the man, quarreling everybody in that contact, you're not feminine. You're just experiencing another, disturbed hippo of a male around him. So the feminine energy is at rest and confident in who she is, in her beauty and the life she brings. And she's hoping you behave right, so that she spends all her life with you. And she knows if you don't behave right, you only have yourself to blame, because she gave her all. When you give your all, even if it will pain when this thing ends, you will not suffer guilt. You will suffer only grief. You only suffer the pain of losing it, not the regret of not having done your best. That's why we love with all our hearts. Sincere people love with their all, knowing even if it fails, I will say I gave it my all.
That's true.
I was sincere. Sincere people can rest. And resting does not mean they're ignorant. They know if you're misbehaving, they'll get the vibe. Honest people can get the vibe of dishonesty from far. Yeah. They can pick micro cues. They can pick small behaviors that you are more attached to your phone now. Yeah. You're always with it in your pocket. Yeah. That you're carrying it and you are uncomfortable, and you realize you look for a reason to come back for it. Yeah. Small things that show. Yeah. This is to say, you take the narrative of your life and open new chapters at will. In fact, one thing I want you to enjoy is to make your life a canvas where you're painting, and you surprise the world with new colors. When you realize I've already painted you as a journalist, keep rabbits just for fun. Fun fact about Lily: gross rabbits.
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 Yeah, what? That's what I thought. I was like, rabbits.
To introduce a plot twist.
Benjamin, do you keep rabbits? This is the second illustration you're giving.
I don't, but my neighbors do. So
no wonder.
I have kept some chicken, and there were more of pets than chicken. They were given too much care. Given warm water with some sugar. Eh?
What?
No, they also need some taste like you. Huh?
No, they don't.
You can't eat those chicken. They are happy. They play. I want to slaughter. No.
They have good energy.
They just bring, and they're happy, very happy chicken. You're happy chicken.
Were the eggs very big?
Playful. Yeah. A lot of appetite. So the eggs. So sometimes you keep some things just to vary the story of your life. This is not to mean you should be scattered. Just avoid being too predictable. If people are used, people seem to predict. I know what Lily will say. I know where she is now. No, don't be too much of that an open book and predictable. Sometimes you just vary your moves. In fact, one way we were saying, when you are changing your life after this kind of disturbances, is don't move in straight lines, move in zigzags.
Okay.
Make a stop somewhere for 10 minutes for no reason. So that those people are used that your car always passes 4 or 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Today they don't see you. Change the car. Something else. Especially when you're trying to detox your life from, the way people decide to heal from you is upon them. Today we are facing the microscope inside, saying it's not always they move away quickly because they were cheating. That is possible. We are not saying it is not possible. Yeah. We are not saying that they moved away. It's always that they are the ones to blame. We are saying sometimes they move away because you ignored them for too much. They continued calling out. And then when they stopped talking, you thought now we are at peace, and you continued assuming them. When they finally checked out, you thought they were overreacting. We did not even disagree. The whole marriage had a disagreement. The whole relationship was a disagreement. Yeah. The whole setting was ignorance. So it's to say people can move away because they're tired of talking. Yes.
Okay. There are two sides of the same coin that I would like you to address.
Yes.
One is, if I might be a nagging woman, and in this show I realized that maybe I was nagging. What were my options? When I wanted to pass my message and then I felt ignored, beyond that point of feeling ignored so that I don't nag, what are the options?
Yeah, when you feel, we said when you feel avoided, stop showing up.
What does that look like?
When you feel,
practically?
when you feel unheard, stop speaking. You will not achieve anything by pestering.
Okay. Oh.
You will not achieve anything by pestering. They will actually now reverse the game to say you're nagging.
Yeah.
You shall try to talk for as much as they are trying to hear. You shall try to talk for as much as they're trying to hear. If they're not trying to hear you, you have no basis.
Okay.
You have no basis. We said you escalate the conflict. If they are not trying to listen to you, what are we doing saying we're together? Are we really together? So pull back. Let them decide whether this is what they want, whether they want us to drift apart. What they have initiated, let it continue. If they wake up and come back and apologize, now you discuss that. Why do I have to go all this far? Why do I have to suffer this much inconvenience? Why do I have to be this stressed trying to get your attention?
Yeah.
Is this now how we shall live? Your relationship is always on negotiation. It is never permanent and now pensionable. It is now set. No. Stop behaving like we already set it. Now we can't do anything.
It's not permanent and pensionable.
We like our jobs.
Right.
You know. So
Yeah.
I settled down. Some things will not quite settle down. You're going to discuss them. You're going to talk about them. You're going to bring them up again. You're going to, when you see something that you can't stand and they don't want to hear you once and twice, pull back. That pulling back may be the beginning of final breakup. It is possible. But you cannot sustain what they're not committed to sustaining.
Okay.
It is painful, but it is inevitable. Yes.
What about the man who is the husband of a woman who does not nag but pulls back? What's the critical sign that his marriage is breaking? Because this woman is not nagging and she's peaceful, she's calm, she's tried to pass a message, she didn't get it. So how will he get it?
So once you notice your partner's behavior has changed, you bring it up.
Okay.
We said you should have at least weekly or bi-weekly something, twice monthly or something.
Yeah.
Touch base on your relationship.
Right.
A service center.
Yeah.
A timeout of talking how was that period of time. If you're working away, I'm working away. One way to compensate from distance is periodical touch base. We're just there taking dinner or whatever it is, and we are checking how that period was.
Okay.
If you're not free, now this is the place you usually check things. Nothing should run for years when you're talking regularly. But because many people don't value that meeting, they park their marriage by the side and they hope it sustains itself. That's why problems balloon out of proportion.
Yeah.
If you have a regular communication, can say, I noticed you are not very okay for the few days, and I noticed you are hurting. What did I do? I think I did something. How come you don't notice I talked to you twice the other time? I was wondering, this, we talked the other. Then you go there, express what they felt, you express what you thought, you apologize, try to heal them. If you have a period when we are trying to detox everything that is coming up,
Yeah.
problems will never get out of proportion.
Is that generally difficult for men to set time to hear the difficult things and this good wife?
No, it's difficult for the egotistical person, and women are frequently very egotistical, just less discussed. Just less discussed.
I was going for the men, Benjamin.
I know, because our ego is more popular, it's more discussed. Eh? In the weddings, that's what we're warned about.
Yeah.
But I tell you the truth, the rate at which people are defensive and uncooperative, it's not gender specific. I'm getting all reports from both genders. It's the guy who is always trying to get them to communicate, trying to get them to talk, trying to get a family routine, even to build a culture, even to get, and when he is not having enough money, he is not even respected, he can't even listen to talk. He's being, just money. Just because, and it's not that he's even mismanaging, the money just went to a project.
Okay.
Many times after you birth a project, you'll have birth pangs. You feel the deficit for a period of time.
Yes. For sure.
You bought the dream house, but for the next 2 months, we are barely getting by.
Yeah.
Because we are feeling whatever we are doing. Yes, we are just recovering.
Okay.
Recovering. So during the recovery period, because the guy cannot do some things that he used to do, and we all know where the money went, now he's being mistreated. Not everywhere, but a lot of times.
Yeah.
Again, where does it come from? Men present money to win the woman.
Oh.
So she comes to the promise of always money, always money, always money. He did not check real life without too much money.
Yeah.
Even if you have money, don't flash it to the face. You will attract people only want your hand and not your heart.
Okay.
So it's to say, you can tell whether she has withdrawn and she's hurting when you're not at ease. Are we okay between us? That is the difference.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Beautiful show there. Ooh, difficult. I really struggled for a big part of this show. Introspection is not easy.
I know.
When we're looking at the parts of ourselves that are not pretty.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you on the next episode. Bye.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.